Hey ladies, okay, this is gonna be a glute activation video. This is something you could do before your run. You can do it afterwards too, but really good for before your run. Kind of wake up the glutes and the lower core so you can use them on your run. So I'm gonna give you two different like little sets you can do so that you can switch it up. Okay, but the first thing I want you to do is to start sitting just cross-legged. And we're gonna test this at the beginning before we do our exercises, and then we're gonna do it again at the end. So from this position, I want you to it's kind of like the lower core contraction we do in our other videos, but I really want you to think about your glutes, and it's just gonna be a glute contraction. So go ahead and give it a try, see if you can just tighten up those glutes. Okay, let's try it again. Tight, tight, tight. You can do a little out breath. So you should be feeling, let's just keep doing like little contractions, like 1 second on, 1 second off, or 2 seconds on. What you should be feeling when you tighten up the glutes is that you can almost feel your body like lifting up a little bit from the floor. So you're getting really good feedback from the ground by sitting on the ground and trying this. Maybe you don't feel anything yet. That's why we're doing it. It's a little test. Let's do like 3 more. Ready? Tighten, tighten, tighten. See if you can feel those glutes responding. And tight, tight, tight. Let go. 1 more. Tight, tight, tight. Let go. Okay, so hopefully that made some sense. All right, now let's do, it's three exercises for glutes. Okay, so we're gonna start with a leg raise. And I'm probably gonna kick my wall. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're gonna raise your leg to the back corner of your room that you're in. Okay, so you can either do this as a full lift and a lower, or you can do a pulse. Actually, oh, this one's a lift and a lower. Okay, sorry, forget the pulse. All right, so we're gonna do our little out breath. Okay, nice tight core. Now shift the weight over to this planted leg and lift that leg up and back. Okay, it's not straight back, it's not out to the side, it's a 45-degree angle behind you. Now, at the same time, if you feel like you're using your hip and your quad to lift your leg, reset, little contraction, and kind of dig your fingers into that high glute muscle there. See if you can feel it tightening, see if you can wake it up a little. Kind of move it around, shake it around a little bit. You can like kind of hit it. That sometimes helps your brain connect to the muscle. So do about 10 leg raises. I don't know how many that was. All right, let's switch to the other side. Okay, same kind of thing. I'm gonna dig around in that glute, and I'm gonna make sure that my glute is firing. All right, and if it's not, that's okay. That's why we're doing this. But you might wanna reset. Little out breath, close up the elevator doors, then try that leg raise again. Okay, so about 10 here. Yeah, baby.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna make a little video. You wanna be in it? Okay, and then after you've done about 10 of those, now let's come down and do some donkey kicks. Again, let's do 10 on each side. So for a donkey kick, let me make sure I'm in it. Watch out, baby girl. For a donkey kick, you can be knees on the ground, or you can raise up the knees. Let's start with knees down, so that you can really get the correct form. All right, so I'm trying to keep an arch out of my back. Okay, so I just flatten up my back. I'm gonna lift one bent knee up, and I'm just kicking straight up, straight up, straight up. Okay, I'm gonna do little pulses here. So at least 10, somewhere in the range of 10 to 20. All right, same thing, if you don't feel the glute firing, kind of dig around back there. Kind of wake it up a little bit, if you can do that without losing your balance. Also, do that little out breath first. So make sure your core is nice and tight. All right, and I'm fighting the arch. So don't let your back, if you can go really high, it might mean you're arching your back too much. Okay, so keep a tight, tight core, as flat of a back as you can. And then, sorry, I did a whole bunch on that side. Hopefully you switched. Okay, so same thing, other side. Remember, you can always reset. If you feel like, oh, my glute's not doing it, come back to here, get a flat back, do an out breath, get tight, and then try again. Okay, it's about 15 pulses or 20 or whatever. You'll feel your hamstring working too. That's also good. Okay, now third exercise we're gonna do is just a glute bridge. Okay, so we're gonna do, you can either hold it or you can just do some regular up and down. But I want you to first think about that contraction. The good thing about being on the ground is you can try to press your lower back into the ground, right? Okay, so I'm rolling my hips forward, breathing out. Now I'm gonna lift up in my glute raise. Okay, the other thing about this is I want your knees and your legs, inner thighs touching. So I want you to think about squeezing your knees together, squeezing your inner thighs together, and squeezing these glutes, all while keeping this core nice and tight. That's a lot to think about. So come down again if you need to. Reset, breathe out, come up. Okay, that's why sometimes it's good, instead of just a hold, to pair it with your breathing. Breathe out as you come up. Really kind of try to hold those tight glutes at the top and come back down. Reset each time. All right, about 10 or 15 of these. 10's probably good. So we're thinking about pushing knees together, pushing inner thighs together. As you come back to the ground, push the air out so you can tighten up the core and feel your back pressing into the ground, and then raise again. The other thing you could do is you could put, so like that is a kid's shoe. I could put this between my knees, okay? That will help me because I don't want to lose that. That will help me think about squeezing my knees in together. All right, so if you have like a sock or a shirt or a towel or something, you can put that between your knees. That's another good method. Okay, let's come back to our seated contractions and let's see if we feel a difference. Ready? So breathe out, tighten up, release. Breathe out, tighten up, and release. You don't really have to do the big out breath. I'm just trying to help so that it can help sometimes with that contraction when you're not really feeling it. So do you notice a difference? Do you feel like, did that kind of wake up your glutes a little bit? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but the more we do this, the more that will work. So that's just a good check. Okay, so how far are we into this video? 6 minutes. All right, I'll make another one. Okay, glute activation, good stuff. Look out for video number 2.